Alright, if you want to tell you guys how I tried to sneak out and my mom met me at the place I was trying to sneak out to. So basically this took place 2 summers ago, and yeah. So there was a party and I couldn't go out. My mom was kind of strict about that. I couldn't go out. So there was parties every single day this summer and I wasn't going to any of them. So I finally got tired of it and I was like, I want to go to a party. So I was like, let's go. I told my friend and she was like, that's fine. She be sneaking out anyways too. So she was like, we get ready and everything, and basically my parents' room is right next to my room, so they can hear everything. So I had to make sure I was getting ready super quietly and not where my mom can hear, because she can hear a peep, she can hear a pin drop. So I was gonna sneak out of my room window, obviously, and in my room window though, there's my room windows have screens, but there was one that didn't have a screen, but the one that didn't have a screen had stairs that go into the basement. So it was basically if I jumped out that window, I'd probably break my ankle. So I was a little scared to do it, but I was like, you know what, I'll just tell my friend to meet me there so she can help me get down safely. And that's what we did. So I waited till the AC played again because it made it difficult for her to kind of hear stuff. And I waited till she told me she was actually going to sleep. And then I waited it was 1 a.m. by the time I actually snuck out, because I'm she's not gonna be up by that time. And I snuck out my window and then we walked to my friend's car and just drove off to the party. I get to the party and I'm panicking a little because this was my first time singing out, but I was like, you know what, I'm fine, I'm literally fine. So we get to the party, everything is fine, the party is fine, guys. I was like I'm good. So then we're let's go get some McDonald's after, let's go, why not, and just expand the night. So this was 3:30/4. So yeah, so we're on our way to the McDonald's and then I see my mom's car behind my friend's car. And I was like, wait, I think that's my mom. But my friend was like, no, girl, that's not your mom. She would have called you. So I was like, okay, you're right. So then we get to the McDonald's and my mom starts calling me. And I'm panicking, obviously, because I'm caught. I'm caught. She's not, why would she be calling me at 4 a.m.? Why would she be calling me at 4 a.m.? And it was obviously because I was caught. So she calls me and she keeps spam calling me and I'm not answering. And then eventually I answer because I'm you know what, it's cooked. I might as well just answer now. And she's just turn around. At this point, we're parked, mind you. And she's turn around. And I'm what? And she's turn around. I turn around and she's literally standing behind my friend's car, like a creep in her robe. Guys, I was so scared, shitting my pants. Yeah. I had to leave with my mom. And the car ride back was not pleasant.
First time sneaking out story time. I did a lot of stuff. Disclaimer, I did a lot of stuff during these days. I'm not promoting it. If you're my age, just don't do this, okay? Don't. Okay, cool. So it was I was at home, right? Mind you, I had already got in trouble because I went to this hotel party and I didn't come back home from that. So I was already in trouble. But I asked anyway if I could go to this cookout, my friend's little cookout. And she said yeah. I don't know why she said yeah, but hey, I'm not complaining. So got me an Uber. I went to the cookout. It was my friend's cookout, right? Cool. Everything's going good. I was at my friend's cousin's house. We was all at the cookout. We was enjoying ourselves, having fun. Yeah, it's probably about 9 o'clock, maybe 10. I don't remember. Maybe 10. My mom texts me talking about, okay, it's time to come home. Cool. I have to get an Uber. At this point, I was Ubering everywhere. Everywhere I went, I had to get an Uber because my grandma had left. I didn't live with my grandma at the time, and there was just no way else for me to have a ride. So I was Ubering everywhere. So I'm looking at these Uber prices, and the Uber prices is mad high. I'm not paying this much just to get home right now. Y'all know if you're on Uber, you know that the prices they go up and down. 1 minute it's gonna say 30 minutes, then it might drop down to 15, then it might go up. It's really, it fluctuates. Is that what it called? Is that what it, I don't know, whatever. So I'm okay, I'm gonna try to wait and see if it go down a little bit. She gets to just cussing me out for no reason. So I'm I don't even remember what she said. She's you can stay there. That's all I heard. You can stay there. Don't come home. Cool. Don't threaten me with a good time. So I'm okay, cool. I won't come home then. I didn't really want to be there anyway. So I don't remember us doing anything that night with me and my friends. I think we just went home, went to sleep. That's all I remember. I don't remember doing anything that night. But day two, immediately wake and bake. I told you a story time about Chase before. So we went to his house. To wake and bake. Yeah, we chilling, we rotating, just having a good time. Here she go texting my phone again. Somehow she didn't send the cops. She done reported me missing, and she sent the cops to my friend's house. But how you gonna report somebody missing and you kick them out? Why? What? I'm getting mad thinking about it. So at this point, I'm well, I don't really want to bring no drama to my friend's house. So low key, I might just dip. I might just leave, right? Mind you, I had never been to no dude house. Like, I had never been over no dude's house until this day that I got kicked out. So I was texting my whole saying, who am I going to go over? My favorite. Y'all know my first love. Like, my love for my first love is a different type of love. And he was just like my everything. So when he said, yeah, like, I'm gonna get you over, and he always paid for everything. Like, I never had to spend no money on no food, no ride, no nothing. So when he said, yeah, I was just like, I hope I'm kicked out for the rest of my life. Because if I could have lived there, I would have. Like, I don't get it. But whatever. We'll get to that later. So we was walking. Mind you, I just told y'all we waked and bake. So we're out of our minds. We're walking back to my friend's house, Karina's house, and this lady, I guess, like, she spotted us running across the street and stuff. Like, the way we was walking, it was probably not safe. Like, the way we was crossing streets and stuff, it was probably dangerous. She spotted us and she was like, okay, I'm gonna give y'all a ride the rest of the way home because y'all need to get together. Cool. She gives us a ride home. We go in the house straight sleep. When I tell you, me and my friends still talk about this nap till this day. Like, that was the best nap ever. That's the best nap I've ever had. I had a great sleep. I wake up, it's probably like 7 o'clock. Someone called, was like, y'all pull us to this pool. Like, everybody at the pool. Okay, cool. We get ready. We get an Uber to the pool. We get an Uber to the neighborhood. Then we walk to the pool. Go to the pool. Everybody's there. It's deep. We're turned. It was a whole bunch of college students there, and we're just turned. And I was just living my life. We was again. Okay, this is probably the third time this day. Okay, we was it was fun. Like, it was mad fun. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh, I just realized, y'all, I missed out on a whole part of the story. So the night before this, the night I told y'all I don't remember us doing anything. They didn't do anything. I left the girl's house to go be with my ex. He's my ex now, but at the time he was my boyfriend. I was hanging out with him, but we didn't do anything. We just went to the park and stuff. I was just outside with him, and yeah, that's all that happened. But back to where I was. So we was at the pool, cool, left. We had a great time. My ex texted me and he like, yo, well, I texted him and I was like, okay, I'm ready to come over. So he probably I think when I went over there, it was probably like 12, 1 o'clock. It was probably like somewhere around that time. But I was mad happy. Like, I pulled I knock on the door. I come to the door. He got this big old in his hand, and I'm just like, why do you have that? Like, he be so paranoid, but whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And he like, you know the way? Like, go upstairs. Like, yes, I know the way. This is not my first time being here. Oh, I did like to go. I have been to a boy's house before, but I never spent the night. This was my first time spending the night. So I went upstairs, and he had got me some Waffle House. I love Waffle House, like the chocolate chip waffle. Oh my gosh, like my grandma called me, talk about something. She picking me up. She done drove all the way to Texas, all the way to Atlanta, talking about she picking me up. I was like, I had to go back home. I had to go back home, and I just hate it. Like, I wish I never went home. Like, gee, I wish I never went home. I was living life. Everything was great. But good thing she did come, because his name definitely would have been tatted right here. I'm not playing.
Story time on how I got kicked out of my house at 14. Just for context, the boy that I'm going to be talking about is my current boyfriend. We have been dating for 2 years next month. And also, my stepmom that I'm going to talk about hates me, doesn't see me as a responsibility or anything. And me and my dad lived together 10 years before my stepmom moved in, so we were pretty close. And my dad has also had full custody of me since I was about 2. Okay, so June of 2023, me and my boyfriend started talking. Then fast forward to June of last year, I was homeschooled because my dad found out that we did hang out, and my punishment was homeschool, and I didn't have my phone for 9 months. So he decided to sneak over, and obviously, you know, like, it was a mutual thing, like, he snuck over. Anyways, his mom found out. His mom contacted my mom because my mom does allow me to date, and me and my mom got into a big argument one day, like a month ago, and she just ended up telling my dad everything. So when my dad found out, obviously, as he should be, he had every right to be, he was very mad. He was just pretty much calling me a piece of, and saying that, like, I was worthless and everything, and yeah. And then when my stepmom found out, just like saying a lot of unnecessary stuff that didn't even have to do with the situation. So like I mentioned, my stepmom did not like me. She never saw me as a responsibility or as her own child or anything. So I feel like she felt this was a really good opportunity to just tell me that she did not want me in her home where her and my sister lived, because she felt as if I was going to bring someone to them if I had already stuck someone into the house. Which I could understand, being mad about me sticking my boyfriend into the house, but those two things are, I feel like they're not comparable, and that was just way too, like, far of a stretch of a comparison. Also, the whole 5 years I lived with them, she did blame me for pretty much every single argument, and she blamed me for her being miserable. I don't really know how I had that big of an effect on their marriage, since when I did live with them, all I did was go to school and then literally go to my room. So I'm not sure how a 10 through 14-year-old had that big of an effect on a grown woman's marriage, but apparently it did. So she always did, like, kind of go out of her way to do things to make me feel like purposely left out, or at least that's just kind of what it felt like. So I kind of always had the mindset that they would be like a happier family without me and stuff. So I just kind of got fed up and I said, okay, well, if I'm the problem of your marriage, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation and leave. That next morning, I had my stuff packed and I was gone. Fast forward to not even 2 days later, I get a text from my dad saying that my stepmom said that I stole $100 from my little sister's piggy bank, which isn't true at all. My sister was my best friend. Honestly, the reason that I stayed alive throughout, especially like my early preteen years when I was going through a lot. So I don't know where she got that idea from or how she ended up gaslighting my dad into thinking that, but I did not steal $100. And after that, he proceeded to block me, and I didn't hear from him again until my birthday, and he just texted me, love you, and then blocked me back. And I still haven't heard from him to this day. I will say it has been really hard on me, but honestly, I do feel a lot less stressed and like I'm walking on thin ice every time I walk out of my room. So I think it was for the better. Hopefully, they get their situation figured out. Like, I wish the best for them. I'm not like trying to push negativity towards them. I still love them. No harsh feelings. I understand why they're upset. Like I said, I just feel like they could have handled it a little better. But obviously, I could have handled my actions a little better. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. And there's more details. I just don't want to make this video too long because it's already like 4 minutes long. But if you want to know, just tell me and I'll make a more in detailed video.
I'm about to give y'all a story time on why I don't talk to nobody that I'm related to. I went in no contact with my whole family, mama side, daddy side, cousin, uncle, aunties, everybody. And it all started when I got on my knees sometime last year and told God that I'm ready to surrender to his plan. Like, I don't want to do it my way no more. Like, God, I'm doing it your way. What do I do next? So we're going to start with my husband at the time. He was cheating so bad that I just was like, I got to get a close relationship with God. The whole time I was super suspicious. Not only was he cheating, like super, super gay. Like, he was working with somebody and I was like, but I was also in a situation where I wanted to leave, but I didn't know, like, I didn't have the finances because he was paying all the bills. So it was like up until the point I said that prayer, it was like he was just emotionally abusive. But then it got to the point where he started to become physically abusive. Like, I didn't get headbutted. I didn't get choked several times, slapped, putting his hands on me for me and my kids' life. It got to a point where we was fighting so bad, and I had figured out that if I keep my kids around me, that he's not going to put his hands on me. So I was like, let me keep my kids close to me so he won't do nothing to me. He kept trying to get me by myself. I used to keep in my closet, and he literally looked me dead in my eyes and was like, get it. Go on, get it out. But I'm a thinker, so I was just like, nah, because I don't know who is going to hit at this point. Then he said it in front of her like I had my kids with me. I didn't know who. I'm not risking it. So I just looked at my kids and I just told them I love them. I just felt like I was about to be unalived in that moment, for real, for real. So after all that, I left the house and went to my parents' house. My parents, like, my mama honestly didn't want me to go back, but my stepdaddy, he telling me stuff happened, y'all need to go back. Then the dude looked my stepdaddy dead in the face and was like, I did this, she right, I did do that, I'm on up to it, which was crazy to me because why would my stepdaddy tell me to go back to that? Oh, that's your husband. So I went back to him. He didn't put his hands on me for a little minute, but the cheating was so bad, I was just like, I need to get closer to God. Then it actually got to a point where I found out he was sleeping with a teacher from my daughter's school. This said teacher put, literally, like, she was super, super friendly. I used to sub at the school that she worked at, and they always put me in her room. I was in her room like 3-4 times. It was also another woman who used to come in there, and she used to be, like, kind of weird with me. So now I realized, like, it was multiple people at that school that knew that woman was sleeping with my husband. This said teacher also started my daughter's dress. Like, she was in my daughter's hair. I done went to this woman's house. This woman inviting me out places. She, he, ha, ha, every time I see her. So I confronted him and her about it. And it got to the point where this man putting his hands on me again. So I actually decided for good, like, I'm just leaving the relationship. I'm leaving the house. I'm leaving the furniture in there. So at this time, I go and stay with my mama. So it got to be so much that I ended up just taking my baby out of the school. She was only in pre-K, so I was just like, my daughter can't even go to school. And if y'all know how hard it is to get kids into pre-K, you actually have to be on a waiting list. So I couldn't even put my daughter in another school. So at the time, because I'm my mama's emotional support when her husband is cheating, I thought I could go to my mama. It was a time, like, at that time, my mama told me, stop calling my phone telling me about this because I'm tired of hearing it. I'm really tired of hearing it. So living with my mama, even from then, living with my mama got super, super weird. When I left the relationship, I forgot to add that I started working at Amazon. Like, as soon as I left the relationship and gave up the house, I got a job at Amazon. I started working 3 12-hour shifts. And because I needed the money to move into another place, I actually would work 50 to 60 hours a week. So at the time, I started popping beans because it gave me energy. I needed to stay up. I needed to get this money. And then I realized everybody doing it, so it kind of made me feel better. And it actually made me, I don't know, like, keep going. So I got some cousins at the time who was just around their house doing it. They chilling doing it. They not doing nothing. Just lazy on couches popping beans. Whole time I'm working trying to provide for my kids. That's still not a reason, but I'm working trying to provide for my kids and do right for my, like, because my mama showing me she don't want me here.
Okay, so boom, story time on how my family almost made me a convicted felon. So long story short, I had just started college. I needed a way to make some money to pay for school, and me and my mom came up with the idea to sell my car. We decided to sell the car to my aunt for $800. Keep that in mind. My mom did pay for the car. This is my second car. She paid for the car as a graduation gift because I graduated early. Cool, whatever. So she originally decided that she was going to take $200 of the money, so I was only going to receive $600. Later on, we came to the conclusion that she wasn't going to take any money because I needed it. Another side note is I went to school about 2 hours away from my hometown, UTC, and the second week of school, our football team was playing UTK, Tennessee Vols, whatever, and that's my hometown, so I decided that I was going to come visit and see. Basically, I told my mom, do not sell my car until after I leave. That way I could have some form of transportation because I was bringing my friend that I had just met at school with me, and I needed some form of transportation. She was so eager for the money that she said I could drive her car that weekend, but the money that she was taking out of the money that my aunt was sending for the car, she was going to use to get her car fixed. Keep that in mind, so that I could use her car for transportation. She also agreed that she would be taking me back to school on Sunday because we came down there with a friend that was not returning on Sunday. When I came down there, I had the spare key on me, but I did not tell her that because she kept asking for it, and in my opinion, it was just not smart to give the spare key without having the full payment, so I didn't. So boom, whatever, Wednesday comes, and I didn't hear from my mom on Wednesday. She sent me the money on Thursday, and she only sent me $175, and my aunt supposedly paid her $400. Basically, Friday comes, her car's not fixed, she spent the money on other stuff, but she still lets me drive it the first night. The second day comes, and she says that apparently I roughed her car too much, and she didn't want me driving it anymore. Okay, cool. Another side note is that my aunt told me when I got down there that she was not going to have the money until 2 weeks later. And she kept telling me that you're not getting the money until you give me the title and the keys. And I was trying to explain to her that unless she has the money, I'm not focused on getting the title or the keys. So Sunday comes, and my mom can't take me back to school because her car is broke. The other people that could, their cars were also broke. Nobody could take me back to school. So I originally came up with a plan that I was going to either ask my aunt to take me, or I was going to take the car myself and bring it back when she had the money. Something to get me and my friend to school. Like, it's not just me. I have somebody else with me who needs to get back to school. Somewhere in there, I guess my mom called my aunt, and the word got out that I was going to take my car. It sounds bad because I did end up taking it, but I was not planning on it. I was trying to negotiate something just to get me and my friend back to school. I was going to offer, I'll fill the gas tank up, and they take me to school and they could drive the car back. So I'm sitting outside with cousin A and my friend, and I'm calling my uncle to get his opinion on things and to ask if he can take me to school, and he couldn't. So my aunt sends me a text in there and was like, oh, you're not taking the car, I paid for it. So after she sends me that text, I see her husband comes outside and gets in the car and attempts to move the car. And after that, that kind of made me heated because, like, are y'all trying to be funny? And the car's in my name? Like, come on now. So I went inside and tried to negotiate, but as soon as the door opened, cousin B and aunts are just yelling at me. So I just walk upstairs, go in the room, and sit down. I'm just on my phone while they're constantly yelling, and I'm just listening to what they're saying. And then my aunt comes out of her mouth and says something about she'll burn the car and neither of us will have it. Excuse me? So then I did make a comment myself, and we did get to going back and forth with some words. At that point, I decided I'm just going to take the car and leave because at the end of the day, it's in my name. I paid for the insurance. I paid for the registration. I paid for everything. It's my car. And I, so far, have not received nothing but $175. As I was leaving, cousin B and my aunt were banging at the back of my car. I have a video. If you guys want to see it, let me know. About 30 minutes go by, and I'm just driving, and then I see an officer turning right as I'm going to turn left. So natural instincts, I let them go first. They're in this lane, and I'm in this lane. I'm not going to pass them. So they get in front of me, and then they go to the left turning lane, so I thought I was good to pass them. As soon as I passed them, they automatically aren't turning anymore, and they got behind me. So I instantly called my mom because I got pulled over like 2 nights before, and was scared. You know, I don't like the police. When they pull me over, they get to ask me for my name. They didn't even ask me for my ID, which was kind of strange. I was pulling out my ID, and she was like, what's your name? And I was like, Brooklyn. And she was like, Brooklyn Shipley. And I was like, let me not put my government out there. So after pulling me over, she asked me for my name and asked me if I had just came from the Lonsdale Apartments, and I was like, yes. And then she asked me to step out the car and put handcuffs on me, and I was like, am I detained? Like, you have to. I kept saying she has to tell me why I was detained, because I watch a lot of police videos. You can't just put somebody in handcuffs without saying anything, and they weren't saying anything. Eventually, when she handed me over to the other officer, he said I was under arrest for I had a warrant for my arrest for domestic aggravated assault. So I asked where this came from and how I have a warrant, and they was like, I fled the scene. I did not know the cops were being involved. She was telling me that and texting me after I left that she was calling the cops, reporting the car as stolen. I was going to get taken to jail, but you guys, the car it still is in my name. So I ignored it. I took it as a joke. You can't put a report out for a car that's not yours, you know? So I asked what the assault was, and they said I allegedly ran over her foot with my car. Once again, there is a video, guys. There's a video. Cousin A took a video as I was pulling off. So if you guys want to see it, let me know. And then after that, I was took to jail, and I sat in there for a week. Keep in mind, guys, that happened in September. The final court date was in December, and the case is, yeah. And the funniest part, you guys, is that same aunt just texted me about a week ago saying, oh, so you're still not talking to me? But yeah, guys, that's the story time. I feel like I left some parts out. If there's any questions, anything, just let me know, and I will be happy to answer them, because I've been waiting to tell my side of the story.
Times I was down bad. Here's another one. You guys don't understand how upset at myself I am because of this. Last year, I was in a pretty public long-distance relationship, or technically 2 years ago now. The one time that I flew this guy in, I did not have the disposable funds to be doing this at the time. Crazy. The basis of the situation was that I wanted to fly him in, but we had to convince his parents. An agency was flying him in for a photo shoot. I literally made like a fake itinerary and everything. The one thing that I asked this guy to do was cover the car rental, because I didn't have a license. I legally could not even rent a car. Mind you, I was already covering every other travel expense, and we were planning this like 2 weeks in advance. The literal day before this dude flies in, he's like, oh, I didn't get the rental yet. He's like, oh, my Wi-Fi isn't working, the app is crashing. Put on a hotspot, use your laptop. Like, what? I told him to give me his like rental car app information. After everything was booked, like I got like the time set, and I calculated in my head like how much time it would take for him to get off the plane, get to his luggage, and then get to the car rental. Literally no thank you, no any form of appreciation. Little bonus, I genuinely did have an itinerary for that entire week, and there was like little to no like time slots for free time other than just literally resting. I had reservations booked, so many other things. To be like, hey, can one of my friends come to dinner with us? He was like, my friend lives in LA, like they won't take long to get here. I was like, okay, like, you know, since they live close by, is what I thought. They did not live in LA, and they ended up being an hour late to our dinner. I'm surprised we even got seated. Like, I absolutely do not hate his friend. That was just extremely inconsiderate. Never ever bend over backwards for someone